Hello there guys, and welcome back to another update video with myself, Foorun. Now today we're going to be taking a look at what's coming in the update on the 23rd of June 2016. So this isn't going to be a blueprint wipe or a map wipe forced, but server owners may want to do this at their own discretion. The next planned blueprint and map wipe will be on the 7th of July, and that is when the new leveling system will be added, so everything will be forced to wipe and we'll be starting again without blueprints and with the leveling system. So moving on from that, today I have divided the video slightly different to how I normally do. So first I'm going to talk about changes that have come in with the main branch, which will hit us on Thursday. Then I'm going to talk about stuff from the dungeon art branch, which is going to hit us on the 7th of July. And then I'm going to talk about stuff that's happening on pre-release. Now most of this stuff that I will go on to talk about will have already been added. So the first thing that I have today to talk about is a arrival of a new branch, or something that I've noticed pop up over the past 5 days, which is the graphics overhaul branch. Now this is something that seems to be worked on by Peter and Peter alone. He started off on the 17th by putting out a tweet onto the Rust Updates Twitter saying curing various visual cancers, and then so on from that we've had a couple of tweets about progress, and then we had a tweet about almost a biome. Now a lot of people are looking at this and thinking we're getting a new biome. Now I wouldn't jump on that bandwagon too quickly, because some of the other tweets that we've seen, one of which is Forest Clutter, he's been working on some stuff for dead tree logs, so he's added in some models and some prefabs for dead tree logs, stuff that we'd see on the floor typically in a forest. And then some of the other work that's been going into the graphics overhaul branch has been around speed tree. And if you don't know what speed tree is, I'll just quickly look over here. You can see the trees in the distance over there. They're not fully rendered. You can see a couple of trees close to me that are rendered, the ones in the background are not. This is due to the speed tree. So they just render up a billboard of a tree in the distance just so that you know where the trees are and you can run to them if you need wood. It's just to, exactly as it says on the tin, is to show you where they are quickly so that it doesn't have to overload your system or the server by showing all the trees continuously. So the almost a biome tweet that we've seen, I believe it was this morning, that isn't necessarily saying we're getting a new biome, as much as everybody would love a new biome, and it could possibly be, but I'd go 99% I am sure that this is not going to be the fact that we're getting a new biome. So moving on from that, we have had a update to Easy Anti-Cheat, so hopefully we're going to have a few more hackers banned. I don't know exactly what's contained in the Easy Anti-Cheat update, but there has been one, so we can hopefully see some more hackers getting banned and some progress towards stopping newer hacks. And then following on from that, we have tweaks for the heli/turret line of sight checks with chain link fence. So previously the helicopter and turret would shoot you through a chain link fence. Perhaps this is no longer the case. Maybe as it is a chain link fence, and if it hit part of the chain, it possibly wouldn't hit you. It may only hit you at maybe a 33% chance, or I'm just throwing out random numbers here, but maybe there is now a lower chance for it to actually hit you through the chain link fence, or maybe it will not hit you at all. We'll have to wait and see once that actually gets added into the game. That's pretty much everything that we have this week in terms of main. There's not been a whole lot of work done on it. Everybody is focusing on pre-release. Everyone is pushing for this XP system to be ready for the 5th of July. So now we're going to move over to dungeon art. So there's only two big things that I've noticed this week in terms of dungeon art, and just note that these will not be with us until the 7th of July when we get a forced map wipe. So the first one is additional road prefab, which is going to be some new broken roads. There won't be any pavement, so I can assume that it's just going to be broken patches of the pavement and perhaps some gravel and some mud in between, just like a broken up road where it's been completely wore down into the ground. And then following on from that, what I mentioned in last week's video with the barricades in the dungeons / rad towns, whatever you want to call them, monuments, the barricades that are going to block up doors that you need to break down in terms to get better loot. we have an update on that which says barricades placement on certain buildings. So they've obviously done some more testing on this, and they've now got this up and working on certain buildings. So hopefully come 7th of July we will be able to actively use these, and it will be a bit more competition in monuments and getting some of the better loot. So now moving over to pre-release, and I've actually got some stuff here that I can visually show you, because a lot of this stuff has been added in over the week. So you may already know about this, you may not, but this is just some stuff to know if you haven't been playing on pre-release and have been playing on main. So the rock is now craftable. So if I load up my crafting menu, we'll see it here. It's listed in a tool. We have the rock, it costs 10 stones to make. The description's very simple. A rock, the most basic melee weapon and gathering tool. So even though it does say it is a melee weapon, much like all of the other tools which can be used to hit people, they are still primarily tools, so it is listed with your tools, so just bear that in mind. We've also had some updates to the ownership system. Now, if you don't know what the ownership system is, it is if somebody crafts a weapon and then gives it to another player, the other player can then go and harvest resources with it, gaining experience, but the person that crafted that weapon or tool will also gain experience from the person that is gathering. So this is going to be split. We also do have multiple owners on these tools and weapons, so if somebody supplies one resource, somebody supplies the other resource, and they were the owners of those resources, they put it together to make a tool, give it to somebody else, and then both people that put their resources together will get a split XP. Now, I can't break this down anymore, than this is all I know at the minute, but once I get into a video explaining some more around the XP system over the next week, I will get some more information on that for you. So we also have ownership of created resources. Now, I don't know quite how this works. It is what it says on the tin, I believe. And if you get some metal ore, pop it into a furnace. When you get that back, you will be the owner of the metal fragments. So I don't know whether it is the person that mined the metal ore, the person that put the metal ore into the furnace, or the person that removes the metal ore from the furnace that will be the owner. That is something that I would like to find out, and when I do find out, I will let you guys know. We also now have a keybind option for the crafting menu. So if I go into here and go up to crafting menu, you'll see the little thing pop up, tooltip, saying you can also press unbound button to switch to crafting. Now, myself and I believe many other people were a bit confused when they seen this, and thinking that you may be able to bind different things so that you wouldn't have to click a lot when you're in your crafting menu, but it is literally just that button. So if we go into here and we go into our input, we can go down and set up crafting toggle. So if I just go for F2 for the minute, if I hit F2, it'll go straight into the crafting menu. So that is all that is, the keybind option for the crafting menu. So instead of going to your inventory and then clicking onto crafting, you can just hit whichever button you set it to, and it will take you over to your crafting menu instantly. We also have a new options screen. As you may have noticed when I loaded this up, it looks a lot fancier. If you also hover over things, you will get tooltips on some things. So here we go, show branding. Show or hide the green banner at the top right of your screen, which would be this little thing just up here. So if we just go and look through this, there's a lot more added in here. It looks a lot better, it looks a lot more clean. We also now have this motion blur setting, which now can be turned on and off. There were a lot of people that have been playing the pre-release branch over the past few days. They turned on the motion blur and they didn't give you an option to turn it off. So if we just turn it on, you'll see this looks really trippy. It can give you a lot of motion sickness if you play for a lot of time or you're sensitive to such stuff. So we now have an option to turn that off. So this is the last thing I have for you today then, guys. Now this is, I'm not 100% sure on how to pronounce this, the Gyra over on facepunch.com. Now this is similar to the Trello that we previously had, but the community can't put their input into it. So if we just take a quick look here at one thing, just so I can show you how this works. So we have using roofs within raid towers to increase the stability, and they can type it. So this is a bug. They've got priorities on it. They've got labels on things, and they can add on their attachments, and they can put comments on and who's working on it and so on and so forth. But today this is what I want to show you. Scale building block cost with building size. So This is a task. The priority is medium, so this isn't something that they want to get into extremely quick. I just noticed this when this popped up over on Reddit a couple of hours ago. Now, this was added 3 hours ago. So this is just something to look for in the future. Now, the description for this is diminishing returns for honeycombing, but should potentially wait until more options for base defense are available. So essentially, once they've given us more things to defend our base while we're offline or when we're online, then they'll add in this so that when buildings get bigger, it costs you more to add extra to it, which I think is absolutely amazing. So that is it from myself today then, guys. I hope you have enjoyed. If you have, then please do hit that like button. If you would like to see more update videos every week, then hit that subscribe button. And if you do know anybody that would like to see my content, have a look at the updates, then please do share this video along to them. And that is it from me, guys. Have a good day.